A man nearly died after his fiance electrocuted him as a premarital pain test. A couple was forced to sit next to a dead body on a plane for 4 hours. And a soccer match got called off after a referee was bitten in the testicles by a child. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News for Thursday. This is Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet. Yippee! A man suffers through 3 hours of electrocution by his fiancée as a premarital pain test. It's not uncommon for people to test their partners in various ways to see if they might be right for each other for a long-term relationship or marriage, but some people can take it a little bit too far. We have this particular case. It's a young woman from Henan province in China who reportedly subjected her man to 3 hours of electrical shocks to the stomach area. All right, well, is this a fourth date, fifth date? Is this typical in China? I want to learn about new dating customs and mating rituals in other places. In America, you and your partner try to build some IKEA furniture together, and if you don't hate each other after that, then you can move forward, it would seem. Let's get back to the story. Why did this woman electrocute her fiance? Well, it says this was a twisted way of simulating the pain of childbirth. I don't know why you would want to put your fiance through the pain of childbirth, or rather the simulation of childbirth. It's unclear why the man accepted the test or if he had any idea what he was getting into, but he clearly didn't expect to develop intestine necrosis and have to get emergency surgery because of this. My goodness. This horrific experience convinced him not only to break off the engagement, well, I should hope so, but he's also suing the woman that he was going to marry for some damages. He's got some, what could be long-lasting intestinal damage, it sounds like. It says here the former fiancé claims her mother and sister suggested that they make her fiancé experience, quote, the pain of childbirth before getting married to ensure that he would be more considerate of his wife. Okay. Well, here's an idea. Call it novel. I can't take full credit, but instead of proving to one another which sex suffers more in life, just agree to treat each other respectfully, carefully, and with love. Maybe not torture your partner for several hours as well. I mean, does that make sense to anyone? I know what'll make my man care more about me. Electrocuting his intestines for 3 hours. This'll do it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And if you're going to inflict the pain of childbirth, I don't think electrocuting someone's intestines is quite the same. You know what I mean? Now, if you told him to insert a Chucky doll way up his butt and then make him give butt birth, I mean, now I think we're getting closer to the pain of childbirth. Butt birth of a Chucky doll, guys. Where are you going to hear this stuff, huh? Weird AF News, of course. Back to the story. At first, the man opposed this idea vehemently, but the fiancé insisted, along with the mother and sister, and he reluctantly agreed in the end. Do you think the mother and sister are just like giggling about this? Like, can you believe this guy fell for this? The grueling test took place in a maternity care facility run by the woman's sister using an electrical stimulation device designed to specifically stimulate the pain of childbirth. Well, I didn't even know they had a machine like this. Simulating the pain of childbirth? Who is this for? I mean, are there pregnant women out there who are like, oh, I'm about to have a baby. Hook me up to the simulation device, and if I decide it's too painful, I'm just going to abort. Who's using this machine to simulate the pain of childbirth? The woman subjected her fiancé to increasingly stronger and stronger electrical shocks to the stomach for 3 entire hours. My goodness. Well, I mean, why stop there? Cut him open and be like, yeah, I'm going to put you through a C-section just so you can experience the pain of childbirth so you'll love me more. In her online confession, this woman wrote that she slowly increased intensity of the electrical current for the first 90 minutes and then cranked up the power to maximum for another 90 minutes. Why are you telling everyone on social media that you did this, lady? I mean, not only did she torture the guy, but she has no shame in admitting it online. I mean, the levels of pathology here. Here's a quote from the social media post. My boyfriend started to feel miserable from level 8 and couldn't help cursing by level 10. At level 12, he was sweating and breathing rapidly due to the severe pain. By the end of the experience, he was completely exhausted and his stomach was as hard as a board. What are you trying to give him abs and kill him? That night, the man obviously experienced severe abdominal pain and vomited several times. He appeared to feel better the next day, but then his condition worsened to the point that he needed medical attention. After being rushed to the hospital, the man was diagnosed with intestine necrosis and scheduled for emergency resection surgery. That sounds like a nightmare. I Googled resection surgery, and it's a procedure where a part of or all of an organ or tissue is removed. It can be performed for various reasons. I'm going to say that they removed part of his intestine. They're not giving details, but that's probably what happened. Can you imagine? Wow. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I want to keep my intestines, and that's that. So stupid, sorry. Okay, well, there may be some restitution here. After learning about the torture he had been subjected to, the man's family was angry and warned his fiancée that she was not welcome at the hospital, adding that the engagement was off and she should get ready for a lawsuit. Yeah, exactly. You should sue the mother and sister as well. It says here the guilty party faces up to 3 years in prison and paying compensation to the victim if the family brings them to court, according to legal experts. And that's exactly what should happen. He is partly to blame for agreeing to it. But I'm sure that in court you could prove that he didn't agree to 3 hours of this. I mean, what's the typical use of this machine? A few minutes? And when you're being electrocuted, it's not like you can ask them to please stop or walk away. You know, you're kind of paralyzed when this stuff is going on, I'd imagine. And, you know, check the CCTV footage, because I'll bet you the mother and sister were giggling next to the machine while this is happening. And or doing the electric slide. A couple was forced to sit next to a dead body on a plane for 4 hours. A married couple say they were forced to sit next to a corpse. It was a woman's body who had perished during a flight from Australia to Qatar. There was 4 hours left in the flight when the woman perished. Mitchell and Jennifer were on this flight from Melbourne to Doha. About 10 hours into the flight, a woman exited the restroom, collapsed, and died right in front of them. It's very, very shocking to experience someone dying right in front of you. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Flights are stressful as it is. And then to have to sit next to the dead body for 4 hours. Let's talk about this for a minute. Is there no place that you could put a dead body? It would seem like there is. I feel like there is a place you could put a dead body on a plane rather than in a seat next to another passenger. I'm not saying in the upper head storage, although that is an option, right? But I don't know. Can you tie a rope to the ankle and dangle it out the plane for the rest of the trip? Well, the bathroom, right? You could put it in a bathroom. There's many bathrooms on planes, right? Let's say there's 6 bathrooms on the plane. Let's say there's 4. You could put the body in one of the restrooms for the remainder of the trip. It's just 4 hours. You can go without one bathroom for 4 hours. Let's keep reading and find out why they didn't do this rational thing that I just suggested. They tried to save her. The staff could not. And then the flight crew put the woman's body in an empty seat next to the couple for the remaining 4 hours of the flight. Here's a quote from the wife, Jennifer. Everyone looked frustrated. They just looked at me and saw seats were available beside me. My husband was on the other side. We were in a row of 4. They said, "Can you move over, please?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." Then they placed the lady in the chair that I was in. They didn't even put the lady back into her original seat. They just put the body in the nearest seat that she died adjacent to. Wow. Is that in the flight handbook? The couple said that the flight crew would not let them change seats for the remainder of the flight, asked them to remain seated as medical staff addressed the body upon landing. They added that they were not offered any support by the airlines after the fact. Oh, well, I'm sure you're going to get a full refund because the airlines seem to think that refunds heal all wounds. And you can't expect an upgrade of any sort. Like, we're going to put this dead body next to you. Hey, could I go into business class? Oh, no. You don't get to go to business class. What do you think this is? We're going to give you a free bag of pretzels. That's the best we can do. Yeah, but this body kind of smells. Well, we could seat you next to those babies over there. Oh, okay. No, I'll stay next to the dead body. That's nice. Do you want your pretzels now? There's a statement from the airlines here. Need I read it? It's just going to be an empty apology like they always do. First and foremost, our thoughts are with the family of the passenger who sadly passed away on board our flight. So sad, so sad. We apologize for any inconvenience or distress that this incident may have caused. They always apologize for any inconvenience. Isn't that's like the way everyone just copies that sentence. We apologize for any inconvenience. Just say that. Everybody says that, even though you're not clearly apologetic at all. We're in the process of contacting passengers in line with our policies and procedures. That's very vague. Sounds like you're not going to do anything, airline. Who would expect them to? They're in airlines. They don't give a damn. I feel bad for the couple that had to deal with that. I mean, although one could make the argument that it's better than sitting next to a crying infant. There might be some perks sitting next to a stiff. I don't know. Never thought about it. First of all, they're not going to steal your armrest, so that's nice. They're quiet. They're not going to take your Biscoff cookies. You know, we love those Biscoff cookies. And you can rest your head on their shoulder or their chest area and take a nap, and they won't even mind. They're like comfortable strangers.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
A soccer player's child bit a referee's testicle, forcing the game to be canceled. One of the strangest titles I've ever come across. A German soccer match was canceled before kickoff, before the game even started, after a referee suffered an unexpected injury, a bite on the gonads from a player's child. What was the player's child doing on the field before the game? I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Whose feral child is this? Get a grip on your kids, everyone. These kids are out of control. You know, they said that the COVID lockdown in 2020 would adversely affect the children and their minds. Turns out they were absolutely right. This is nuts. This occurred on Sunday. We have here FC Taxi Duisburg 2 and SV Rot-Weiß Mülheim. These are teams. Wow, there's a lot of words I can't pronounce in here. Let me try it again. Taxi Duisburg 2, Rot-Weiß Mülheim. They were set to compete in the 8th tier Kreisliga C division. Wow. I could never follow European soccer. As part of a routine pre-match protocol, referee Stefan Kahler was conducting some identification checks on the players when a young child, the son of an FC Taxi player, was running around the field. Doesn't sound like these are professional matches when you get kids running around the field, guys. Is this national championship soccer here? Is this national professional soccer or what? What are we dealing with here? Is this a pickup game? As the referee continued his pregame duties, the child unexpectedly approached him and bit him in the testicle. Hoo-ah! Wrong ball, kid. Wrong ball. Did they give him a red card or a yellow card or how many blue cards? What are the card colors? I don't even know. I don't follow soccer. I prefer to follow, respectable, upstanding sports that don't involve testicles being bitten on the field. My goodness. We have a quote here from this referee who's really cool about it. He says, while I was checking the FC Taxi player's ID, a small child was doing warm-up exercises alongside the players. He came closer and closer to me, then suddenly, to my complete surprise, gave me a sharp bite in my left testicle. It's very strange. I'm not used to this behavior. Usually it's the parents that give me a mouthful. No, he didn't say that, but it's funny. The injury was severe enough, apparently, that the referee, in significant pain, called off the match before it even began. In his official report, he confirmed that he could not officiate due to the pain and the bizarre nature of the incident. Yeah, I'm sure he was very shocked and surprised. He's going to have some PTSD or PTTSD, post-testicular trauma disease. Guys, I'm just trying to make up some jokes. I'm not in the mood. Okay, so he didn't start the game. The game is going to be rescheduled for later on in the season. It remains uncertain whether this referee will return as a referee. My goodness, this nut nibble might have put him out of business for life. Wow. Must have been very severe. Well, I wish the best for this referee. and hopefully he recovers and can do the thing that he loves, which is be around this dumb sport. As for the child, I mean, you can't expect this behavior to change because parents don't be parenting. If your child runs up to a referee before a game and bites him in the nads, you're not parenting at all. I can just imagine what other horrific duties this kid's onto. And this is why I just keep preaching vasectomies, guys, on Weird AF News. Hey, come on now, walk in my footsteps here. You don't have to procreate. Don't give in to societal pressures to have a very small demon living with you that doesn't pay rent. You can just snip it off, guys. Snip it. And live your life. Don't you want unlimited expendable income and all the time that you want for yourself? Or would you rather have to appear in court again and again for what your little criminal is doing to the outside world? I put my testicles in receptacles. Hello, everybody. How are you? This is your host, Jonesy. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Weird AF News, and I appreciate your time. I'll keep this outro brief, very brief. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'm only going to be doing news from Florida. If you're new to the podcast, on Friday, I only do weird news from Florida. So send me those weird Florida stories from this week. You can email me, funnyjones@gmail.com, or my Instagram is @funnyjones as well. So we'll try and make the best Florida Friday episode we can, and I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. Lastly, if you would like to support the show, go to weirdafnews.com where you can buy your buddy Jonesy a coffee, or you can join the Patreon. That's right, and be a real big fan. Be a real big fan. And if you want to call the show, the number is 646-450-2012. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.